Okay, yesterday we just saw that how we create that Angular project, right? So to create the Angular project, we used command, ng new, that project name we used that to create. Uh, I'll open that project, yesterday created one. This is the project test. Yesterday we created one. So I told you that there will be a one folder node underscore module. First time it will take time. So this is the one. Yesterday I created one using that ng new. That name is that hello test something I have given, right? So this is the project which we have created. We already seen that this folder structure is all about whatever the components are, modules which we will create, those we can maintain it here only. This is one of the main folder in Angular project. Okay, so next one is if you see this one, package.json file. So this is also one of the uh, file when we scaffolding happens. So here there is a dependencies and dev dependencies. Basically this will tell us that our Angular project is depend on these many libraries. Okay, so here if you see that dependencies means Angular is depending on these libraries to work on your project. Okay, that automatically is getting for you when the scaffolding is happening. That entry automatically it will entered here. For example, if you install any third-party library, like say jQuery library you included in your project, that that entry automatically will come and stored here. That Angular does it do for you. Okay, so basically these are the dependencies of your Angular project. So next time when you share this project, this solution to your colleague or your friends, then no need to share this node underscore modules. Okay, you just exclude this module node underscore module folder, and you can share with your teammate. Then what he will do, he will open that project and he will do npm install command. So that npm install command will identify this package.json file, whatever the required dependencies for your project, that will get from the online. It will get from the online and it will create node underscore module folder for you. Okay, so uh, yeah, basically Angular is depending on all the dependencies here only. So there is other dependencies is there. This is only for your development purpose only, not for the Angular. So all these dependencies for your development. After development there is no need of these libraries for Angular. Okay, so this is one of the file we should remember that. So as I told you yesterday, we can create components, right? So we can create the components, and those components we can use in the module. So uh, yesterday I shown you how to create the components. The components can contain three files, right? One is logic file, one is HTML file and CSS files, right? Those file I have created yesterday manually, right? Here I have created one folder, and on that folder we created three files. That is one of the way we create uh, mod component. Okay, even you can create component using uh, ng command also. Directly when you create the component, it will create three files, and it will create one folder and three files for you automatically. So that way also you can go with that. Okay, uh, so this is a command. You can create the component from the Angular CLI command prompt. Okay, you just need to use ng g space c that folder name. Under the folder name, required component files will be created. So that way also you can use this command, or you can use this command also. ng generate component, that folder name. Okay. So for that, either you can directly go here command prompt, or else here only you can open the terminal. So just click on that new terminal or something. In the node IDE, you just click on the, okay. So actually I have created one component with that XYZ. So even you can create your own components also. ng hyphen g generate, g means c component, generate component, and give the name whatever the component you feel. Sample component, sample folder name I gave. So if once you hit the enter, it will creates for you. Okay. So that way you can create as many components you want. Okay guys. So next one, there is a one plugin, auto import plugin. Okay, did you ever hear the auto import plugin? You can use these plugins to easier your development. Okay. Even these plugins you can use in the React development, or even in the Angular development. On the projects you can use that. Okay, what auto import plugin will do that, whenever you create a file, whenever you create a component, ultimately those component you have to use it in your module, right? Or if you create a component means three files will be there. In the component.ts file, you have to refer your HTML file and your CSS file, right? To refer that file, you have to specify the path, right? From this file, from this location, you have to refer this, right? So that auto import plugin will do it for you automatically. No need of manually to import and specify that. So auto import plugin only will do it for you. I think if you go here, you see this auto import plugin. I already installed it. So what is this? Could not find a routing ng module. Modules. Okay, so you can use that auto import plugin so that could not find a non-routing ng module with suffix one routing dot module strictly reserved for routing. Okay, next one we'll check that is not created. See, XYZ is the folder. Yesterday I have created one component with the XYZ. In the component we have three files, right? So one is CSS file, one is no. I will check that why it is not creating. So basically when you use this command, it will be created with the component like this, XYZ or whatever the name you give. So CSS file, HTML file and component file. Okay. So ultimately this component, it should use its HTML file and CSS file, right? So whatever the component HTML logic, you will write it here. Directly HTML code you will write here. Okay. So whatever the CSS class required, you will write it here, and you can use them in the component. You see that if you see xyz dot component dot cs file, this is the file. Okay. So normally import we are using it, we are importing component and on it from the angular slash core. Let's assume that this is one of the file. So angular is doing it for you automatically, but assume that this angular.core is a one file. In that these are the two classes. Component is one class or init is one class. We are using these two classes in this file. Which one? xyz.component.cs. In this file, we are using these two classes from this file. Okay. Like that, if you have a other file which you would require to use it here, you just need to import that file. You have to mention that path here, and in that file you might return one CS class or interface, right? Those names you have to mention it here to use in your component. That way you have to use it. Okay. So normally without this, if you create any class, is a simply class. Okay, is a simply class where you can define your properties and methods, or whatever you want to objects. Okay, so if you decorate this class with this @component, that means it will be a component. Okay, this we are not writing it. When you create an component, automatically Angular is doing it for you. No need of to bother about it. So in C sharp, if you see, when you create a class, we can decorate a class with that decoration syntax, right? On top of it, we can define it. Okay. Same way, Angular also is doing it for you to specify that this class is a component. Here, this is the decoration @component. Inside of it, there are three properties. One is a selector, one is a template URL, one is a styles URL. You see this component xyz.component.ts is pointing to that xyz.component.html. Okay, so that this one xyz.component.html, automatically it is taking the path. Here dot slash means this file, that xyz.component.html file is available at the same level of the path the component is there. Okay, both HTML file and xyz.component.ts files are there in the same folder. That dot means so. Okay, this is doing auto import automatically for you. And also whatever the CSS required for this component, we can mention it here in this property style URLs. Okay, so all the classes, whatever we are using it, you can refer that CSS file over here. Okay, so next one I'll tell you, instead of writing HTML in the separate HTML file and using it in your component, you can directly write the HTML code here also in the component level also. Okay, that for that purpose, you just need to use this property. Okay, you just need to comment this. Okay, directly you can create here. Here you can write the inline HTML in the component level only. If you feel that only one line of HTML you want to write, you can write with the single quotation mark. Okay. If you feel that there is a multi-line of HTML code you have to write it, you can use the backtick characters. Know that, right? It will be there at the tilde symbol. This is a backtick character. Here you can write as many, as much code HTML you want to write like this. H1 something. Like that HTML code you can write it here. Right now we are going through this styles template URL approach. Okay, template URL approach, we can use it. Okay, now we have till here understandable, right? Okay, thing is component.cs file the component we have created. In the component.cs file we are referring that HTML file and CSS file with the component decorators. Okay, so here a class can implement or inherit other class members or interface also, right? Here we can use that implements. Okay, this class XYZ component is implementing that on init interface. This interface is available at this file, in this file. So in this on init interface has one method called ng-init. This I'll tell you later why we use that ng-init and constructor. By default, we know that constructor will be there, right? For every component, we have seen that. And ng-init also is there. Okay, there is some differences between constructor and ng-init. Ng-init will execute after constructor executed. Okay, on every component refreshes ng-init, refresh that. So based on your assignment of the class variable, you have to use the wisely ng-init or constructor. Okay, there are other methods also is there in the on init interface. You can use those methods also. On ng changes, something built-in methods are there. So based on your requirement, you can use those methods. Okay, now we have created a component. Ultimately, this component we should use it in where we should use module. All components we can use it in the module, right? So to identify, to recognize this component, we have a selector called app minus xyz. Here you can give your own name. Okay, to call this component somewhere else, to use this component somewhere else, we can call it using this name with the selector name. Okay, you remember these important things. Okay, where I am using this, ultimately this I should use it here in the module, app module.ts. Okay, here if any ts file, app module.ts file, any module file exists, it will be decorated with the ng module. If a file contains ng module, that means that file you can make it as a module of your Angular. Okay, so here one more thing is component. Here we have used export, right? Export. That means we can use this class, this file in other file, right? So to use in other file, we have to define this class as an export syntax. That is the reason I'm using it here. Module, this xyz, right? This xyz is a class from the file xyz.component. Okay, so this file is there at this location xyz.component. No need have to mention that extension of the file. We just need to use that. In this class, how many in this file, sorry, ts file, how many classes are there? xyz.component. So if you have multiple classes in the file, you can separate with the comma. You can use comma. This xyz we are using, we are bootstrapping the module. Okay, if you have 10 components, 10 components to be shown on the page, then you have to use the 10 files import statement, and you have to bootstrap them class, that class here. Okay, you have to mention it here in the declaration section, that class name, as well as if you want to, if you feel that that should be displayed in your module, you should mention it here. Okay, these two things you should remember. Okay, now we have created components, and that component we are using in the module by importing it. That module we should use somewhere else, right? So that module we should use ultimately where we should use HTML page, right? Okay, that HTML is here index.html. Okay, index.html. So in the index.html, I'm using the main.ts. Main.ts is the file where I am importing the module. Okay, here you see this. This is the module, right? Module file, app/module, and under this ts file we have a class called module, app module. We are, bootstrapping this module into HTML. This one, app module. Okay, this module ultimately will be rendered in the index.html. What I am saying is app-root. This way we can call that component or your module. So here in the HTML file, I'm just calling that app-root, app-root. Closing is a kind of HTML tag, like how you create h1, open, element and close element. You should mention, right? The same way we are calling the module app root. Where is this app root? It will be there at you see this app component is there, right? Yeah, see, in the selector we have, selector called app root. I am, calling this app root main component in this HTML file, right? Here. So app root is the app component which I am showing in the HTML page. But I have created XYZ other component, right? As I told you, a component can call other component, right? So a component can have its child components also. So though that component I have called in app component. Ultimately, if I render this parent component, child also will display, right? So in that parent component, I called the child component, XYZ component. How I called in the app.component.html, I have called this app-xyz component. Understand? This is the flow important. If you know this flow, you can work on this. I did not record this.